this weekend's main event headlining UFC 313, the highly anticipated match between Alex POATAN Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev. Now, I said anticipated. This fight should have happened a long time ago, I think. Definitely it should have been Pereira's last fight. Magomed Ankalaev, a guy who, clearly isn't a favorite in the eyes of the UFC brass or matchmakers. The guys had to do Marab level work to get that title shot, and he had it against Blachowicz. And his performance in that fight, just the result in general, a draw coming out of that fight in the vacant title, I think really left a sour taste in not only Dana White's mouth, but the fans in general. Like, for how dominant he's been, and not even necessarily grappling. Like, there's this interesting narrative coming into the fight that he's going to grapple. But the guy does great work on the feet. There's a lot of beautiful knockouts on the feet. So, yeah, I think this fight, like I said, very highly anticipated. We're finally getting to watch it this weekend. And as we dive into the matchup stylistically, like I said, Ankalaev likes to spend a lot of time on the feet. Pereira, as we talked about in the video I made earlier, if you're going to stand on the feet with Pereira for that amount of time and not threaten the takedown, you're going to get KO'd, man. Like, it takes a really special striker, Israel Adesanya, to be able to not only compete with him there, but threaten him there. Izzy did a fantastic job, not only in the rematch of their MMA fight, but across all of their combat sports fights. He did a really fantastic job of using skills, tricks, feints, traps, to, out-volume Pereira and stay out of the danger most of the time. So when we're looking at the matchup, if it's going to take place on the feet, and if Pereira is going to have that time to work and calculate and set those traps, like I said, without the threat of the takedown, it's his fight to lose, man. And as good as these guys are, they're mixed martial artists at the highest level, you cannot stand on the feet with Pereira. But that goes back to my point, mixed martial artists. Ankalaev is a very handy grappler. He is not necessarily a wrestler grappler by trade, but he definitely has it in his back pocket to work. And you can tell he is somewhat comfortable in those positions on top. So if he can get one takedown, he only needs one. Let's say Pereira works his way back up to the feet. He at least has that threat going to help his striking excel, to honestly help his striking work. Because yes, he has a good long guard, pot shots from the outside, but I don't think he cracks harder than Khalil Roundtree necessarily. So I think Pereira is going to be able to taste that power if they're just being in those striking ranges. But if Ankalaev catches him with something he doesn't see coming due to a level change, he can clearly knock Pereira out. On any given night, anyone could win. And I think this fight is very stylistically close. The odds have this one pretty much at a coin flip. But I just think POATAN Pereira, his abilities on the feet, like, don't get me wrong, I think this fight is very, very intriguing, very competitive. And like I said, if Ankalaev can utilize grappling, he's going to be very competitive in this fight. It's just Pereira, it's his time, man. Like, there is so much to be said about confidence, momentum in this sport, in a sport that is so predominantly mental. This means a lot. Where Pereira is at in his career means a whole lot. So give me Pereira by late round stoppages. If Ankalaev doesn't wrestle or even threaten it, like I've been saying, then he's going to probably get knocked out earlier than the later rounds. But I do not see this fight hitting the 5. I think Pereira is a machine. He's an assassin, man. Like, especially once he starts going downhill, smells blood in the water, he's going to hunt you down. So Magomed Ankalaev, he's got to be pretty perfect in there, I think, because the presence Pereira carries in, how heavy-handed he is, it only takes one. And like I said, that presence is going to be able to really dictate, I think, where the fight takes place. I think Ankalaev's going to have to fight on the back foot a lot of the night. Let me know what you guys think, who you have in this fight. It's close. I know, like I said, Pereira is a superstar. There's a lot of fandom towards him. But I think if we take off the fan goggles for a moment and look at this fight, with a bit more of a unbiased point of view, then we can see how closely contested this matchup really is. Thank you guys so much for joining me, for tuning in. If you could like, comment, subscribe, I would really appreciate it, and we'll chat soon.